Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf, the podcast in which one man strives to level up his geekhood and helping you do the same, one battle at a time. Now, let's get geeky with Gamer Leaf.
So, once upon a time, in a magical land far away, there were heroes trying to resist the forces of evil that have invaded the world. A strange and powerful dark mist have covered the lands and twisted everything in its path. So the heroes took upon their spells, their resolve and their courage and went after the mist, trying to find what the evil that's behind it. They fought their way through dark places and woods where no light could longer reach the surface. And they fought magical creatures, and they opened chests, they found new magical artifacts, and they went through mazes, even solved riddles, and after fighting all their way through this last jungle and through dark dungeons, and they finally reached the big tower. Then they ventured through the tower, they went up its levels, and they found a devious being waiting for them there. A creature twisted with dark magic, and only together they knew they could defeat it.
Okay, so that was the story of what game?
12 Realms Dungeonland.
You guys are the creators of the game?
Yes, we are the game designers, yeah.
The game designer's on today on the podcast with us today. I hate to slaughter you guys' names, so would you mind each introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about how long you've been in the game industry and whatnot?
Yeah, I am Panos. I have been a player mainly for a lot of years. I was playing mainly role-playing games and board games as well. And I have been in the game industry for the last couple of years.
Yeah, I'm Nick. So mainly a gamer like Panos. We've met each other through gaming sessions and gaming cafes and all that stuff because we play a lot of games together. And I'm also a couple of years working developing games. And now we are starting to create our own game. Dungeonland is actually our first game.
So this is both of your first game?
Yep.
Yes, it's the first game that we have worked from the start. We have worked on some other projects, but this is our game, yeah.
You have a new game on Kickstarter, and that's this game. What can you tell us about it?
This game, it's our new project. It's our big project on Kickstarter. Will be dungeon crawler game set in the 12 Realms universe. It will be a standalone game. Has nothing to do with the previous 12 Realms series, but it is in the same universe. So it has the same characters and stuff like that. It will be a dungeon crawler mainly, but with many unique features, focusing more on fun and trying to give that feel of old arcade games.
Oh, cool. Old arcade games. And you say the 12 Realms universe. I'm new to that. I've never played one of those games before. What can you tell us about that universe?
That universe, yeah. 12 Realms universe is... Imagine it's like all the classical fairy tale characters, along with some legends and stuff like that. They all live in those 12 realms. So all the stories are connected somehow. Snow White's, Little Red Riding Hood's, all the stories are connected. They all live in 12 worlds / realms, basically. And where we take it on from the story on Dungeonland is the moment where these realms face the greatest threat they have faced ever yet, as they are all invaded at the same time by dark forces.
And so the dungeon crawl, for those new to gaming, what exactly does that mean?
Oh, I think Nick can answer you that very well.
Yeah, basically what a dungeon crawl game is, it's a game when the player takes the role of a character, and along with other players that also control their characters, they explore dungeons full with monsters, traps, and all that stuff, and they try to accomplish the same goal as a team, basically.
Now, I'm told that I suffer from analysis paralysis. Will this game make people like I play with more mad at me, or will my turns take forever?
I don't think that this will be a problem in Dungeonland, because one of our main goals when we designed the game was to make the pacing of the game really fast and fluid. So I don't think that the turn of a player can take forever actually in this game. And also there's the fact that this is a co-op game, so this is something else that we really focus on. So you are constantly gonna talk to each other and strategize together and try to work as a team. So I don't think there will be any mad people at the table.
What makes this game stand out from all of the millions of other games out there?
Basically, it's not one feature that makes it stand out. There are many little things. Dungeon crawlers have been around for a while, and like no game comes out of nothing. So we were inspired by other games, but we also added our own unique touches here and there. So its exploration system is slightly unique. The way some things work, and it uses the glyph system we have made for spell casting, and which will later be added to combat too. And but basically, the basic thing we want it to stand out for is its feel. We want it to have that feel, like you feel like you're playing like an old hack and slash, like where you move through the rooms, you kill the monsters, loot the treasure, and then you go deeper and deeper until you face the big boss. And the big boss is a challenge. It is a real hard challenge. And you have to cooperate, and you have to use everything you have to defeat it.
Well, so you talked about being inspired by other games. What games inspired this game to fruition?
Well, all the great role-playing games of the last years, certainly like Descent, Mice and Mystics, even Zombicide, all the big like dungeon crawl style games of the latest years have inspired us into this. We have we saw what they did, and we saw what they did wrong, and we said like there could have been a difference there, here and there, and we've added also our own stuff. So to make it attractive and to make it something unique. So using all that, we believe we have created a unique experience like Dungeonland, like our own game.
So you said you're inspired by a lot of different games. Do each of you have your own? Do you have a favorite game that's already out there?
I do. I certainly do. My favorite game is it's from Fantasy Flight Games. It's Battlelore 2nd Edition. Personally.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. That's a really difficult question, because if you ask me this question in 1 year, the answer will be different, because we always play games. And I don't know. I'm more of an RPG guy, so maybe my favorite game for the time being is Dungeons & Dragons, new 5th edition.
So you're a D&D fan?
Yep.
Cool. I used to role-play back in the day, like a lot of years ago. I played Middle-earth role-playing back when I was a teenager.
Yeah, that's a really good game also.
Yeah, Nick is completely on D&D. He's a huge D&D fan. I am as well, but he's way more than me.
Cool. And somebody that I don't think they've been into tabletop board gaming long, but they asked me to ask, will this game be more painful than Monopoly? And I think they were talking about with Monopoly being so long of a game.
No, definitely not, because as I said previously, we really focus on the pacing of the game because we want it to be really fast and fluid and to move tirelessly during a playthrough. And also there are so many differences because Monopoly is so many years ago and game development and design has evolved in many ways. So I think there is not even a comparison between a modern board game with Monopoly. That of course applies for Dungeonland too.
Yeah, I didn't think so. And is this a one-shot game, like they have one-shot podcast, or is it campaign style, or?
Actually, it's both. The game, the basic game has multiple modes of play. Of course, when we started creating the game, the main way that we have in mind was a campaign style game, and there will be a campaign that will be heavily story driven, and your characters will evolve, and the story will go on based on your decisions and all that cool stuff. But there are also multiple modes that they're actually one shot.
So they can be both campaigns and one shot. Is that what you said?
Yes, yeah, that's right.
And do they build on each other like with role-playing games? Like, do you have the same character and they can gain hit points and XP and stuff like that?
Yeah, if you play the campaign, basically, your character will evolve. You collect experience points. You learn new abilities, new skills. You find new equipment and all that stuff as you play the game. But there also will be a mode that we try to give the full campaign experience in one go. So you can say it's a quick contained campaign. You can call it something like it.
Okay. And you said this is a board game, but I think I read somewhere that it has an AI, artificial intelligence. How do you have that in a board game?
This is by AI we mean like the system we have developed because the game plays itself. There is no DM in this game. No one plays the dungeon master or evil guy. So we develop a system basically so that the monsters can play themselves. The normal monsters, they just perform like basic stuff, but the bosses even go as far as having different patterns. And sometimes like their patterns sometimes are random. Sometimes we in the future we will even make patterns that adapt to the player's decisions or to the player, like react to players' moves and stuff. So it feels like an AI, the way the boss like is smart about what it does, and it isn't doing the same thing every turn. It might do like many different things depending on what happens.
Okay, is it so? Will people be rolling dice, or the cards, or both, or how's the mechanics work in this game?
People are rolling dice. Basically, it uses custom dice to resolve everything. Imagine that you have some stats, and you're gonna get some skills and some equipment. And from all that, like when you want to attack, you roll some dice. Depending on the kind of weapon you use, you're looking for the appropriate symbols. For example, swords if you're using a melee attack. And you count up the number of those you rolled. Your opponent rolls defense. You subtract his defense from your attacks, and that's how much damage he takes, basically.
Okay, and are you rolling the dice to move or on the board too as well?
No. We are not a big fans of roll and move games. On the board, you have a specific movement value, and you can you can say how many spaces you want to move.
Okay, and are there different actions you can take during your turn, or how does gameplay look?
Basically, yeah. Every hero during his turn has a choice of many different actions to do. The gameplay uses an initiative order to go through. So, and the initiative order changes all the time. So you can never be certain. Like the heroes will play first, the monster second. You don't know. It's random. It's between. It can be anything between. And although it is random, because we wanted to offer a strategic thing to that, we've also added mechanics so that you can manipulate that initiative. so that the party can eventually make it so that they play how, close to how they would like to be playing initiative-wise. Now, gameplay, heroes on the turns have 2 actions, and they can choose which actions to do. They can do any combination of the different actions they have, like move, attack, open, like interact with stuff, rest. There are many different actions.
Okay, and let's talk about the parts of the game that you guys, both of you, are most proud of.
Yeah, I think that there is no a very clear answer to that question. I know that most board game designers or board game developers will talk about their new innovative mechanism of the game, but the thing is that with Dungeonland, me and Panos, we are not trying to be innovative just for the sake of innovation. Our main goal was to make a really good game, because we are gamers. So first of all, we try to make a game that it will be fun to play. If I have to choose something, personally, I say that we tried really hard to achieve a balance between not overcomplicated rules, but at the same time, fairly deep and interesting gameplay, and I think that we have achieved that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what we are most proud of. The fact that it is a game where you could literally have a campaign in like 1.5 to 2 hours. You could have a campaign experience with the one-shot campaign mode we have integrated. And the mechanics are fairly simple, but there is so much depth. There are so many options and choices throughout the game. The way the skills work, you can either increase your stats or gain skills, or how the equipment interacts with all that. We have added a ton of stuff, but the gameplay is still fairly simple. It's like initiative order, you activate, you do this, or this, So that was our main focus. We try to make a dungeon crawl that it's not, it's not that hard. It's not like painful to play, but it offers you all the choices that you want.
Yeah, we don't want you to spend too many time with the rules. We want you to spend most of your time with the gameplay, actually.
So it's not a big rule book then, or?
The rules per se are not that big. The rule book is not that big. There are many scenarios in it, so that's why it might be more heavily. The rules it is a dungeon crawl. I won't lie. Like it's not like it's not like some light party game or something. It is a dungeon crawl, so it has rules, as you can understand. So we are trying to cover up all the possible scenarios that could happen. We don't want to have any loops or anything in our game. But we believe that if you sit down and you just read the book like one time straightforward, and you just take it slowly and play the game, you will be, you'll catch up with the rules really quickly, and you won't be like flipping back and forth in the book, looking up stuff.
Well, that's good. I'm not too much of a fan of reading the rule books. Usually my wife, Lady Leaf, is the one that does that. There's been a couple games that I've seen, I forget the names of them, but they have like where you can take a picture of a QR code and it'll tell you, instead of reading, you can watch it. Are you guys going to have something like that, do you know?
We're possibly going to have some how to play videos on YouTube. I think that's, I know that, but I don't know if we're going to have some QR code or something like that. I can't tell you about that yet. But we're going to make some how to play videos, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That'll be great. Let's see here. And while you were play testing, because when you make games, you have to play test them, was there ever any parts of the game that you had to scrap and start over because they just wouldn't work?
Yeah, of course. Of course, the thing with when you create a board game, it's a very dynamic process. So during this work, me and Panos were constantly coming to each other with new ideas. And you know that when a new idea comes, it's like our child. We really want it to fit inside the game and make it better. But at the same time, you have to be realistic, and if something didn't work, we have to take the decision to remove it from the game or change it somehow, because after all, the point is for the final game to be fun and good. It's not just to have good ideas in there that they don't work with each other.
So you talked about you had to keep on coming in with each other with new ideas and stuff. How long does it take to how long did it take to create this game? How long has it been in the production process?
It has been in the production process. Basically, it has been some months. It has been 6 to 8 months or something. It has been in the process of production. The thing is, like, from the moment you get the idea and you start the project and you sit down and you start talking about the rules, you have to all the time. You have to constantly talk about it, test it, talk about it, test it. See the overall picture, add stuff. Try to solve the different problems that will come up. Try to create the little mechanics here and there, like the boards and everything, and how this will work and all that. So it has been in production for a while, but now it's in its final stages. It's almost done.
Yeah, I think that the first idea of the game was about 1 year ago when Panos first started.
Yes, almost a year ago. Yeah.
Okay, great. And have you had a lot to do when you create a game? Do you have a lot of different play tests to try to see what's broken and what needs to be fixed and whatnot?
Yeah, of course. A game requires lots of play testing and from many different people. So that's what we've come to understand. The best way to play test is to have people that haven't had part in the design of it test it, because for example, when me and Nikos playtested, because we were also part of the design team, we designed it. It won't be so easy for us to see the flaws, because we were there. It might be some stuff that we added to the game and we might like them, but we need to see what others think about it. So we use third groups and other people and stuff to playtest the game and get feedback for it.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And by the time we release this episode, your Kickstarter goes live on the 15th of May. What can you tell us about the different rewards and the different things that people will get if they back this game?
Basically, there will be different stretch goals that will unlock as people keep buying the game and keep supporting us. The different goals will be, there will be new miniatures, new monsters added to the game, there will be new heroes added to the game, new bosses, and we even have stretch goals for mega bosses, which are going to be epic fights. There will be like scenarios dedicated to a single boss, and the whole scenario will be like a 1 hour scenario where you fight the same boss and you just chase it down and fight it again and again. It's like this epic fight. The old, that's our main goal. We wanted to be like the old games we were used to play, like when we were kids, with the huge health bars, where it takes time to take it down and the boss is clever and it vanishes and then comes back and all that. So there will be plenty of stretch goals for miniatures, for bosses, for scenarios, for all kinds of stuff.
What can you tell people? Why should they go ahead and take a chance on this game?
That is because we believe that this game, first of all, it has a family weight theme, which is very good for people that didn't like the more gruesome or more kill frenzy or more barbaric board game, dungeon crawlers and stuff. The theme is still adult enough so that adults will enjoy it, and it has dark twists here and there. But mainly, we believe that people should take a chance on this game if they want to see a fresh dungeon crawler that has some things to say, that has some things to introduce, and that has some new stuff to show people. If they want a game like a dungeon crawler that seems a bit lighter, that seems a bit faster, and that can have the big campaign experience, but also can have the small one-shot campaign, and it can also have some PvP between the heroes, because we also have that in the game. They can take all these in one game. We've made all these possible in the single game with the same heroes, the same characters, and everything. We believe the final experience will be fun. It will be great. It will be like a story going on with taking loot, killing the monsters and everything. And we believe in the end you will have fun with our game. Which we believe that's the main aspect of all games.
Yeah, that's great. What heroes do they start off with? What heroes are going to be in the base game? Do you know?
Yeah, there will be heroes.
Nick, go.
Yeah, there will be 6 heroes in the base game. I don't want to spoil all of them, but I can do some. It will be, of course, Red Riding Hood, as you mentioned, I think, if I remember correct. There will be the Wizard of Oz, Snow White. It will be, of course, because there always will be a dwarf. There will be the Grumpy Dwarf. And there are two more heroes in the base game, and many more to come in expansions, stretch goals, and all that stuff. And of course, I want to say that there also will be a conversion kit that players that own the previous 12 Realms games can use all of their heroes in Dungeonland.
Okay, so they'll go across each other. And you talked of expansion, so there's going to be expansion to this game as well?
Yeah, I think there will be expansions. Yeah.
Yes. There will be expansions, almost definitely. We can't say more, but we believe there will be.
Okay, great. And so something like this, when you create a game, I know that you guys said this is your first one, but do you have anything else in the limelight? Anything else you're working on, or you can't say really?
Yeah, actually, there are several projects, but I think that we can't really talk about them yet, because the truth is that our main focus right now as a company, not only for us two, it's Dungeonland, because it's a really huge project for the company, and everyone is working on it right now.
Yeah, we have focused on it, but we will make announcements in the future. We have worked on other stuff also, so you will hear more of us in the near future.
Well, that'll be good. Let's see here. So, and how long is the campaign running? Do you know?
We're not sure about it, but I don't think it will be a really long campaign.
Possibly something around 20 days, a month, something like that.
Okay, yeah, it's probably like 21 to 30 days or somewhere around there, probably.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Anything else that you'd like to tell our listeners about 12 Realms, the dungeon crawl game, before?
I think we'll cover the really important stuff. I don't know if Panos want to add something.
No. I would just like to add everything we've said and all that. I would just like to say people should buy the games that they like. They should support the companies that they like and stuff, because I've been playing from a very young age, and I've seen gaming really grow in the last years, and I love that. How much gaming has grown and how much communities have grown and how people are playing board games and everything now. I like how there are way more people to play and talk about these things and everything nowadays. And I would just like to say to people support us so that we can support you back. Give us feedback and support us so that we can give you great games. That is all.
Yeah, there you go. You heard it here first. And you talked about arcade games back in the first. What arcade games inspired you on this, or what were some of you guys' favorite arcade games growing up?
Well,
Golden Axe for certain for me.
Yeah.
Also the Might and Magic series, which had the Dungeon Scroll experience. Even the Elder Scrolls of Old, Lost Vikings. Classic games like that. Where we used to be playing them outside of home in the arcade machines using coins and everything.
There you go. And now they have different iPads and all kinds of. You can play your games on your phones. Do you guys have any applications that you like to play?
I play some board games on my phone actually. I usually play Neurosima Hex on my phone because I find it really handy and I believe it's an amazing application.
Yeah, it is.
And is that how does that compare to the regular game? It's been a while, but I played Neuroshima Hex quite some time ago. If I remember right, I liked it quite a bit. How does it compare to the board game?
To be completely honest, I think the application is even better than the board game because that game is really strategic and it's really nice and everything. And the application just takes the part of having to set up the game and having to move the piece and all that. And it makes it an app in a game that, like setup is really like a side thing of the game. Like, moving the piece and all that is just, it's just a side thing because the main thing of the game is to think out the strategy, the placement and everything. And the app that does that great. So it's the exact same experience and it is way faster. So for me, that's a very good thing.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to check that out. What about you? And do you have any favorite applications?
Actually, I think this is a matter of taste. Personally, I prefer the physical copies of board games because I play video games as well. So I don't want to, I want to differentiate the one for the other.
What about video games? Do you have a favorite video game then?
Yeah, but I'm more of a console gamer when it comes to video games. So my favorite series of all time has to be the Zelda games, I think.
So what do you think about the new Zelda game on the Next?
Yeah, this is something that I talk with my friends a lot lately because what I told them is that I play video games for 30 plus years now, and this is actually the first time that a game made me say that this is the best game that I have ever played.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm more into those 2D arcade games like Mario Brothers and whatnot. My Lady Leaf and my children, they all seem to like the new Zelda game, but the 3D games, they throw me off.
Actually, this is the first full 3D Zelda game that I really enjoyed because I'm also more of the old school retro guy.
There you go. Yeah, they really like this one. What's your favorite part about? What's your favorite thing about it?
I think that the part that I really look in old games, that the thing that everything connects to each other, that there is no single unique mechanism that is good. It's how all their ideas come together and create the final game. The same that we try to do with Dungeonland.
Well, I think that's all we have time for today. I really appreciate you joining us. Once again, it was Nicholas and Panos from Mage Company. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us here today.
Yep.
No problem. And once again, we'd like to invite you to go check out their Kickstarter. If you look up Mage Company, or what was the full title of the game again, so that people can find you?
12 Realms Dungeonland is the full title.
12 Realms Dungeonland, and that's on Kickstarter. Is there a website or anything as well that they can look at as well?
Yes, there is Dungeonland.com, which is also up. It's 12 Realms Dungeonland.com. They can also check that out.
Okay, and is there a way that the people can reach out to you individually, to both of you individually, on any of the social networks, or do you guys have websites or anything?
Not yet.
Yeah, no, we just have our personal Facebooks, but we are going to create like the Facebook for our studio and our team and everything. And we're going maybe create a Twitter and stuff like that. It's coming. Like in the next few months, we'll have everything set up and ready. Also, Twitter is it's not huge here in Greece, but we were also we're very busy with creating the game and working and doing other stuff. And we didn't really, we haven't really sat down to focus on the social media aspect of it. But it is coming. Now that the game is on its final stages and we have relaxed a bit, we are going to create all the social media profiles and everything. We'll post links everywhere, and there will be links on the Kickstarter and everything for people if they want to.
Yes.
Okay, well, that'll be good. We'll have to, we'll have to keep an eye out for you. Well, I think that's about it. I really appreciate you joining us today on Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf. I can't wait to see what is around the corner with this game and with the Kickstarter.
Thank you very much. We hope you will be as excited as we are when you play it, and we hope that it will give you the feel that we want it to give you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. You all have a great night. Well, I guess a day because it's daytime over there.
Yeah,
it's morning.
But you all enjoy your day.
Yep, thank you very much. Have a nice day.
A great interview with Panos and Nick. We wanted to let you know, keep you updated, that their Kickstarter had canceled, but they're going to relaunch that. Probably by the time you listen to this, they've already relaunched it. Starting June 1st, make sure you go check it out over at Kickstarter. Under Mage Wars is the name of the company, and it's 12 Realms. I hope you enjoyed this and can't wait to see you again.
Gamer Leaf levels up. Tune in next week to see if Gamer Leaf's luck holds up.